This week on Pretty and Pride, we talk about our exciting trip to Paris, just on the horizon. Share a little bit about what makes us, us, if you had to know just one thing about us. And we talk about some power moves that will keep your friends, enemies, loved ones on their toes.
Okay. I don't fear no man, but I'ma still put 60 in this Drake. Set it off like Queen Latifah, nigga playing with my cake. Split the bag up with my brother, 50-50 what we made. I can't let no nigga eat that ain't contributing.
Welcome back, Pretty and Pride listeners. I'm your host, Kiki. I am better, believe it or not. So I have a little bit of the nasalies, but and maybe a little bit of the mental fog, apparently, but I'm feeling better. So welcome back. I'm your host, Kiki.
And I'm your host, Ken, and we have our third host, Os, back as well. And we're in for another week.
Yes. Can't believe we did it. I can't believe I did it, I should say.
I'm very impressed by you, honestly.
Without you asking, I'm going to answer how my week was. It was okay. I feel like I got really behind being, under the weather. And I feel like when we were podcasting last time, I wasn't as aware of how sick I was getting. I was like, no, we're fine. Oh my God, I had a night from hell that night. And then Sunday was not much better. And then finally, Sunday night, I feel like it broke. And I was like, okay, this is definite. Now I'm actually not just gaslighting myself. I'm actually feeling better. But then I had a bunch of stuff to do with work, with all the other things I run around town doing. Mm-hmm. By the time Wednesday came, which is usually the day where I finish our edit, you FaceTime me and I'm sitting on the couch and laying there on TikTok and I said, I can't get up right now. And then when I got up, one thing was wrong with one of the files and I was like, well, that's done. But somehow I pulled through and I got our edit done on time and we released episode 9.
Yes.
And everything was timely. So I'm very proud of myself. Claps for me. And I'm back on track. I'm feeling better, ready for Paris. We're going to do it. So yeah, it's good. How was your week?
My week was a combination of I'm trying to plan for returning from Paris and trying not to be bogged down or overwhelmed with work. Mm-hmm. So a lot of my week felt like meeting current deadlines and anticipating future deadlines and trying to get ahead of them. All in all, I would say I was pretty successful in getting the things that I wanted to get done, and feeling good going into next week as we get ready to go on this trip.
That's awesome. Speaking of return from Paris, I will shortly, a few days later, hop on a plane and go on a different trip, this time for work. And so I'm also kind of I'm taking one thing at a time. I was like, if I look at my month, I'm getting stressed out, baby. It's already been a lot so far, and we're 11 days in. And yeah, so, but I'm so looking forward to Paris. I'm glad that it's been kind of a really crazy time leading up to Paris because I feel like it's been this looming, exciting thing in the background without feeling like I have nothing else going on and all I have is waiting for this Paris trip. I feel like I've been getting through 17 different things leading up to this. So it's finally here, almost. I have 2 working days next week and they're kind of crazy busy. And then of course everything to get prepared for the trip.
Yeah.
So I hope all my outfits pull through. I haven't started packing, but I started putting things aside. But I haven't been planning them yet. I know I'm going to wear these 2 outfits at some point. I know I want to bring this sweater, but I'm I don't know what those days are. I don't even know what all the shoes I'm bringing. I just figured out the part. So there's just still a lot to do, but
I'm doing a lot of mental packing.
Yeah.
I'm doing the mental packing of I'm making checklists in my head. I'm not putting them down to cross-reference later. And just hoping that everything is going to turn out all right.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like this weekend is the weekend to start. I was I need to go buy. Usually when I travel, I buy a brand new lotion because the same lotion I always get, but a brand new bottle because I'm I can't even fathom traveling and running out of
the lotion that
the lotion that he's a sick boy. He can play if he wants to.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. So It's gonna be so fun. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm starting to like try to get like I need to download the Disneyland Paris app. Make sure the tickets are there. I downloaded the Versailles app. I'm just trying to
I'm so glad to be going on a trip with someone who is the type A personality that you are, because typically when I'm traveling with my spouse, I think I am the type A personality. Like, I've got to make sure we have everything. But there are select few people that I get to travel with that are more of like the meticulous planners and or over preparers. And I am just so appreciative of them because I feel like I finally get to be on the vacation I deserve.
Yeah, you say that now, but when I check 2 bags and then have a carry-on, you're all of a sudden you have a problem. So
I'm not going to have a problem.
Okay.
I'm checking a bag, so it really doesn't matter if you check 1 or 2 bags.
Yeah, except for I think you said like the cars are too small or something for all my luggage.
That may be an issue, in which case we could just take separate cars.
That's scary.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and fight with you day one because you decided that you wanted to fucking bring 2 goddamn
first
checked
of all,
luggage.
I have big feet, so my shoes take up a lot of space. I feel like that's like 50% of my problem. I can't just bring 1 pair of shoes with me when I go somewhere just because my feet are huge.
Yeah, I'm letting it go. If you show up at the airport with 2 bags and we get out of there and there's not some ginormous caravan ready to take us wherever we need to go, I'm getting in an Uber, you're getting in an Uber, we'll get to where we need to go, but I'm not going to be fighting with you over these 2 bags.
I want to jump topics and talk about how we talked about doing a cooking segment last week that did not happen for Kiki. Kiki came over and then blew a gasket because she was not feeling well. I was like, I gotta get out of this place. But you did end up cooking the ratatouille. Tell us about that.
Okay, so I had already had everything out on the counter, opted, I'm gonna try cooking this ratatouille. Now, as someone who has never made ratatouille before, I had seen this really cute recipe where you had these very nice, spherical slices of these zucchini, the squash, the eggplant, and the tomatoes. So I had a bunch of tomatoes, I had these zucchini, but the only aubergine I could get were like so thick that like
girthy.
They were very girthy. So the diameter basically like the circumference of them was like double the size of the other vegetables. So I didn't cut the veg thin enough. I also, like, because they were a mishmash of sizes, it looked insane. Like, it was like a little disc of zucchini, a little thing of cucumber, a little thing of tomato, and then like double the size of freaking eggplant slice. So I'm like, all right, I'm doing it anyway. I'm like, okay, this is, I literally put it into one dish to try and like get this nice circle. I was like, no, I can't do that in a square dish, even no matter how hard I try. So then I was like, all right, let me put it in 2 of these dishes. So I started doing that, and I'm like, oh, actually, I could have just put them like in 2 rows in this one dish. So then I'm sending them back. I was a disaster. I was not successful. I kept thinking to myself, if Kiki were here guiding and directing me, you would have all of these brilliant ideas on how to execute this a lot more flawlessly.
Maybe not.
Anyways, when I pulled it out of the oven and went to take a bite, it practically was raw.
So what did you do with it?
Left it on the stove, deuced, left my house.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I left my house.
I feel like what doesn't help that also is that we had a ratatouille quiche.
Still think about that quiche.
It was really delicious.
So
it tastes
good.
like pizza. And yeah, so we had a taste of the good life.
I am going to be watching Ratatouille this weekend.
Please do. It's so good.
I'm going to...
It's so cute.
Excuse me. I'm going to also look forward to seeing if we can find somewhere that has it and get it as like a side dish when we're in Paris. Yes. Because I bet they make it really well.
Yeah.
My initial impression, even though the execution was completely off, my slices were too thick, is that I probably could have gotten away with doing a dice, but it needed more seasoning and it needed more flavor.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to taste it and then replicate it again.
But you'll make it delicious. Speaking of food that we're going to try for the first time or have tried for the first time, we went to a very nice family meal on Tuesday. And I tried cacio e pepe for the first time. And it was delicious. It was like mac and cheese, you know?
Yeah.
It was really, really good. But also, speaking of Tuesday night, so I don't think I've really adequately explained how badly I was in the trenches this past week, okay? I had a cold that I thought was getting better and crashed and burned Saturday night. I'm in my bed pretty much just so effing miserable. Like, I'm using so many tissue. My sinuses are like just I cannot get comfortable for the life of me. That was Saturday and Sunday.
I can't believe you wished that upon me.
Well, at the time,
week.
I was like, that was the moment. I was getting so sick while we were podcasting, and I didn't actually, it probably happened at the hair salon because I don't know what it was, but waking up that morning and going to the hair salon, I was like, okay, again, partially I do gaslight myself, but I was like,
yeah,
I had started probably feeling sick, let's say Wednesday, Thursday. And I feel like by then it should have been at its worst on Friday. And I thought I was feeling not that bad Friday.
Yeah.
So I woke up on Saturday anticipating the same. And I felt like I was like, okay. And then I don't know, as that day went on, it just went so freaking haywire. Sunday was awful as well. I think by Sunday I couldn't even taste anything. And then finally Sunday night it broke. And I was like, okay, we're feeling better. That really was the worst of it. Monday I woke up, I worked, and then Tuesday I had that conference. On Tuesday morning, I started my period, okay? Now I still have a little bit of the sniffles, the sinus part, but I do feel 95% healthy. I feel good sick-wise, but now I started my period. I have an awful first day of my period, the most awful cramps, and I've always had it that way. And mind you, my period's irregular, so it's not like I knew this was coming on.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine, I'm sick. I have my period. We go out to dinner Tuesday night. I'm finally okay, I'm finally better. It's gonna be the second day of my period. I haven't been to the gym, and since I've gotten sick, we're getting back on track tomorrow, okay? We're good. I go to bed. At midnight, I wake up, man. My stomach is doing knots. I am sitting in my bed. I am writhing in pain from that blue cheese pork, okay? I literally I couldn't go to sleep for almost till 2 a.m. And, I wake up at 3:30, so that was out. So I'm like, there's another day. So finally, Wednesday, in the afternoon, my stomach's better, but then I'm laying on the couch. I'm just really mentally, I'm so drained from being so sick in 17 different ways. I told my friend, I said, I feel like I've gotten every sort of ailment I could get before this trip. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be so effing healthy in Paris. There's nothing can get me down now. So,
girl.
Yeah, right? I'm this is insane.
No.
But I did make it to the gym. What was it, Thursday? Yeah, yesterday and today. So I feel and even though I still sound nasally, I actually do feel 100% better. But also I'm do I feel 100% or just 100% better? Because I was feeling so crappy that anything in comparison to that is better.
Negative 25, so now I'm at 25%. Feeling great.
What a treat. Yeah.
Girl, you're just too out in the world, honestly.
I'm really not.
You are though, because I literally was just in my mind going through an entire trace history of where you could have caught this deadly cold. It's between the pickleball, the Pilates, the conferences, just too out in the world. I think myself, I'm not out in the world like that. So I'm my exposure is so limited.
Your husband goes to an office every day.
Yeah, but he gets to close the door.
Okay, well, I feel
I'm not saying he is the bastion of health either, he's just walking.
You guys eat out twice a week. I feel I don't leave my house that often. I work from home. I go to the gym at my apartment complex, and Monday through Friday, I am in this one little bubble. Let me look at my calendar, because I feel
ain't no fucking way. I just named 7 things that you do on a weekly basis.
Not on a weekly basis.
Every time I call you,
but that week
I
hadn't been doing anything. We had gone shopping on Sunday, and then I was dog sitting all the way through that week. So I didn't leave the house really at all. I had book club remote. So I'm that's why I'm this was not a busy. Yes, I am sometimes have a lot of ticky-tacky things going on, but this is one of the times where I literally had nothing going on, and I was I don't know why I'm not a I'm so sick right now. So, but
Well, I'm really grateful that after you came by last week, I did not catch whatever it was
that
you had.
No one that I've been around has caught anything. I don't know what this Kiki specific airborne
that is
illness
fascinating.
was. But yeah.
That is fascinating. It's
Yeah.
like, what about the grocery store?
What?
The grocery store.
I had them deliver my groceries because I wasn't feeling well that week, and I had gone the week, before probably.
That's
I don't even
insane.
know if I was at the grocery store because I kept buying those tubs of cottage cheese from Costco. So I was like, I'm all good, I have everything I need.
Dude, I totally am regular with it with my period. So as soon as you told me that you were starting, because I know our cycles are semi-linked, even though yours is irregular and might skip a month
Yeah.
or two, I was like, oh, motherfucker. I
know.
look at my calendar and it's like, your day 1 is the day before you fly out, which means
horrible.
your day 2. Now, any of our women listeners, menstruating people, know that day 2 is the worst fucking day. That's when you're bleeding nonstop.
Yeah.
The cramps until, I'm popping Midol left and right, pretty much. So can't wait to be on a plane, traveling all day at the airport.
Just don't be a monster. I don't know. But
I'm pretty good. I've been trying to think about it's not like my PMS is not so much in like the moodiness. It's more in like
the pain.
I'm in
Yeah, no, it's
frickin'
never the
pain.
moodiness. It's always the pain.
But like I'm interested in. I mean, Midol is a lifesaver. So
Midol's great.
From the moment I wake up, I will be popping that.
Yeah,
But like,
smart.
I need to figure out a couple of things logistically on like, are we gonna get a McDonald's breakfast bagel before we go to the airport, as opposed to going to the lounge?
Okay, well, I thought you were talking about if we were going to see how a Parisian McDonald's breakfast bagels taste. I know that you're not supposed to do this, but I do want to know what Parisian fast food tastes like. I'm not saying we have to have a whole meal there, but I'm saying I do need to try a cheeseburger in Paris
Okay.
and French fries. I just know that they're different. I need to compare. It's a fun time.
I'm fine. I've never walked into a McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Like a McDo. I've never walked into a McDonald's in a modern time.
Okay.
So it's like there's no drive-through for us to go through. We're gonna have to with our 2
Oh, it's
feet.
fine. I think they make you order from a kiosk. Hold on.
I don't even know what I would get at McDonald's, but I guess we'll find out.
A McChicken.
I loved the spicy McChickens
There you
when they
go.
were $1.
Well,
Now
we're not trying
now
it for
they're
a
on some fucking $3.29.
This is a bite and
Get
throw it
the
away type thing,
absolute
probably.
fuck out of here.
We'll see if we get around to it. Also, we'll go back to Paris, so it's not a big deal. Are we doing the lounge breakfast or the bagel breakfast? I say what do you want to do? Because I feel like we don't kick off I don't know. I could go either way.
So the thing about this is going to be very boring for everyone but me. But
Yeah.
like the thing about the lounge is there's one at our connecting airport, and then there's one at our departure airport. The issue, however, is that both of them will require us to transport ourselves to where they're located. And so it's really a question of like, is it valuable for us to just do it out of the departure? Because we'd have to pay for you. Is it valuable for us to do that? If we went to both, you could use both with the same payment, right? You paid in one location, you can still access any of the lounges all day as you're traveling. But it's like that connecting location is a train ride away. Like it is in another terminal. So it's like just a matter of like, do we want to deal with that inconvenience?
To me, lounges is not that's like if we get there and we have time and it's not that bad to go there. Like, sure, we can hit it up, but I don't want to plan my
I don't want to plan
around it.
getting to and from. Yeah. That's
We gotta go
and-
to the airport early so we can hit the lounge. Like, I'm not trying to do that.
And that's what I was debating. I mean, we'll probably be there early enough out of our departure just because, like, I do kind of hold to the idea that we should get there to make sure we check our bags, get through security, like, we're not rushing.
I agree.
So, like, I do like to get there at least 2 to 3 hours before we're scheduled to depart, even though I know that that's not how normally I would fly domestically. I would get there, like, an hour before, but so I'm open. It doesn't matter to me, but it's just like I am thinking through like, okay, that's like a lot of, finagling, wrangling around, and if we have an additional carry-on and like we're also having to carry that around, like, will we want to do all of that?
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. That's time. You know, a lot of people have asked, they're like, what time is your flight? I have no idea, actually. I've asked you 5 times and I still don't know.
Me?
Yeah.
I've told you 5 times.
I know. No, yeah, I'm taking responsibility for that. I'm like, I have no idea. I think.
Do you not have the app for our flight?
No. Oh, good idea. Let me do that before.
I was like, I'm pretty sure you can get your ticket. Unless I have both tickets. Does it give me both tickets? I do have both tickets.
I'm really freaking. I don't want to download an app for everything.
Then don't do it.
No, it's not this. It's just like I feel like everything. Why does Disneyland Paris have its own app? Not just Disneyland, any Disney parks. Disneyland Paris has it. I'm like, this is everything in life requires an app. And I just want to be a normal person. Like, can I just have a normal coffee? Do I have to?
Doors close at 10:20 on our flight.
Okay.
So it boards at 9:50. I'm so excited because we are flying in style and luxury.
I'm always excited for that. It's really, every time I travel and I fly business or first, I think, yeah, you better keep working hard.
Yeah, you're not allowed to quit.
I'm like, it's a life goal of mine. It might be on my 300 list to get to the point where it's like not even a question of like, that's really unreasonable to pay $2,000 to fly first for an hour. Like, I don't even want to have to think about it. I just need to do it because like, that's my goal in life. Like, but right now I'm not there yet. You know, I'm not spending $2,000 to fly an hour, but I really need to get there because I just am meant for the good life. I don't know what to say. That's really just my, opposite of a burden to bear.
Preaching to the choir.
Pleasure to have. So I'm really excited that we're doing that. And I feel like it just sets the tone for the trip on the way there and the way back, like.
I agree. So. And that's why I was like, if we felt like, hey, I literally told my spouse, I was like, yeah, we'll be up stupid fucking early so she can bring the bagels.
Yeah, I probably will be.
And then we could just vibe, get to the airport, get on the plane, not worry about I wonder if they'll feed us because it is, a domestic flight. So they could feed us on the plane, both ways. Yeah. But maybe it's saving us from having to make that stop, pay that 50. Because I was talking to my friend about this. It's she was saying she never goes to the lounge if it seems like it's this out of the way excursion, especially if you think about it's going to cost $50 to let this, a guest in or whatever. And then it's well, you could have just gotten some food at the airport.
So true.
At a different bar. And it's and then you wouldn't have had to inconvenience yourself with trying to leaving security, entering security, leaving security again, going back through security.
Because I feel like a lot of the draw for a lot of people is the free alcohol in the lounge. So maybe that makes all of that inconvenient, but it's not really. We need a Starbucks immediately. Yeah. That's what I'm getting when I go to the airport.
Well, the lounge does have a great espresso machine, which is really nice. Yeah. But it's fine if it's okay, I have time and it's not that much of an inconvenience. The airport we're departing from behind security, so it's not that much of an issue, and the tram runs really quickly. It does. However, the connecting airport, it's
it's too much. You
got to leave security, come back in. It's not behind this, we can just take a tram and go over. No, it's you have to do this whole fucking thing. And
that's probably not going to be worth it.
So I just don't know, but the world is our oyster. I am there's a lot of things that I'm thinking about just in terms of the planning for the trip, how we plan to document this, not only for ourselves, but if we want to be documenting this at all for our listeners or our 10 followers on TikTok and or Instagram.
We are hitting it big time, baby. No, I feel like we had planned to vlog it in some, not the whole thing, but in style. Yeah. And I still want to do that. I just feel like we got thrown off because I lost my mind for a minute. I literally could not think about anything. So yeah.
It's hard. I think vlogging is hard. You have to kind of be in the, not only the mind space, but also in the physical space. It's nobody cares about my stupid errands that are like the 2 errands I run maybe once a month.
Well, yeah, but Paris is fun to watch someone vlog. So I feel like, and we have the camera setup is very like, I feel like accommodating for that. So we'll see how it goes. No pressure.
I just think like the icebreaker that comes with like, okay, this isn't the first time we're doing it on this grand trip. So I don't know how that will play out, but we'll push ourselves through it. I
feel like that's the perfect time to do it.
We'll push ourselves through it.
Yeah, you do it on a grand trip because that's when everyone's expecting you to do it. They're not expecting you to do it
add more
at
pressure.
the grocery store.
Add more pressure.
No, I mean the people around, it's much less, I guess, cringy if you've never, like, for me, it's like, it is a little bit, feels cringy, even though who cares what these bozos think, to like vlog in a grocery store, to like take a recording and be like, you want to see the cereal I'm buying? It just doesn't feel natural to me yet. Yeah. But I feel like on a very large vacation in another country, that's when people are doing that stuff, like, especially les Americans. So, that's a natural time to do that. So we're going to try it, and then maybe it'll help us get out of our shell for more. You posted a TikTok. I still have never posted a TikTok. I'm like, I
know.
I want to do the one you did where you did kiss, marry, kill, but I feel like I just want to kill everyone. And then I'm like, I'm out.
It's really hard because it's like, I knew there were people on that list. Yeah. I had to reserve them.
I would just stop. I'm not agreeing.
There were several people I watched that did that. Yeah. They were like, you know what? I'm done with it.
Never mind. Never mind.
I'm not even able to just continue doing this for the sake of it.
And I love it. But I should try to post a TikTok for really my own sake.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to go into this with the mentality that like I'm a celebrity and people care about what I have to say.
Should. And you are.
Even though I only have 14 followers, I'm just going to go with that mentality.
That's more than me.
And and I'm going to take the approach that like I'm really excited for our dinner cruise.
Oh my gosh, it's the perfect thing to do when we land.
I know. It's like, I'm really just like, I'm going to have to push through the discomfort of like, I'm going to try and basically have us on camera all the time.
It's like also like, it's one of those things where you just care, no one thinks about you. And like, it's very interesting, I feel like for us too, because I do feel like I don't care very much about what people think about me, but I do, I guess, feel like maybe it's really of a judgment on me because I would be judging them for doing that. So I'm like, no, I think they're judging me for what I would be judging them for. So, but I feel like it's like, get over it. Who cares? Like life is not that serious. And if I want to record what I'm doing, I record what I'm doing. Same with starting a podcast,
I know.
Like it could be, people can see however they want, but like we were talking about it this week that like, I've actually really enjoyed memorializing our conversations together. That's really cool to me, and like listening to them back because they're really great, and like I feel like that's gonna be cool years down the road regardless of whatever happens. But yeah, so same with vlogging.
I think like because we've actually found a rhythm and enjoyed it, like we probably are going to have to eventually figure out like a better setup for like the sound and the video and all of that stuff, but like that's future problems. Right now, we're going to get to Paris. We're going to...
Life just keeps going.
Unfortunately.
I know. I totally agree. And also, I feel like, anyways.
You just reminded me that I need... Like, now I'm like, okay, again, I'm just making mental lists of things I need to do for this trip. And now I'm like, oh, I need to do laundry and make sure that I can pack my Pretty in Pride crew neck.
Yeah, that's when you start setting things aside.
I've gotta, like, I literally just need to start pulling out clothes. I told myself,
let me start writing some stuff down.
I know. I told my spouse, I was like, I need to put together my looks, right? Like my main looks for the things that we're doing. And then I need to interlace them or intersplice them with like some variability looks, right? Like, okay, I plan to wear this pants and this shirt and these pants, but I actually don't want to wear that shirt. I need a different shirt that will look good with both of those. So I've got so much work to do.
I know.
And I'm like, will you help me? I don't know why, but I'm like so desperate for someone to help me. And I know you're not going to. That I was like, I guess I'll settle for you.
Well, this is why I'm such an overpacker, because I'm the same. I'm like, okay, I need this outfit. This is what I'm going to wear. But if I wake up that day and I'm feeling fat, I need a backup outfit for that.
Yes.
Okay. But now, but what if I decide, well, I want to just leave the hotel really quickly and I want to go and just get a quick, stop at a bistro. That's a different outfit than what I'm wearing during the day. That's a different look, but it still has to be cute and casual, okay? Now what, and so I'm like, okay, so now it's 5 outfits for one day.
No. Yeah. 100%. And that's where the shoes come into play too, because the shoes that I'm going to wear walking around the Louvre are not the shoes that I might wear to the dinner we have that evening.
And also, that's not good for your feet. Remember when we went to Disneyland years ago and we were talking about how, like, if you wore the same shoe 2 days in a row, it almost hurts more than switching the shoe. And I feel the same about, like, when I go on, like, work trips and I wear heels. Okay, I have to bring 2 pairs of heels even if it's 2 days. I can't wear the same shoe for 2 days. First of all, that's not what goes on my outfit. And second of all, if I'm clomping around in heels for 8 to 10 hours, I can't wear that same pair of heels the next day. My feet will riot. So I'm like, so now I have to bring 2 to 3 pairs of shoes. Plus I got the workout outfits, so it's just like it turns into a whole thing. And like I said, I got big feet. So it's,
I just added 2 shoes based on this conversation to what I'm packing, because it's like, you're right. I actually do need the shoes where it's like, I'm just going downstairs to the corner store to grab a bottle of water. I need like the throw-on shoes that are not going to require me to waste a pair of my socks. And, aren't going to go with like the open-toed sandaled wedges that I'm going to bring. So now I've added 2 new pairs of shoes to what I'm... This is insane. Okay, thank you.
And you have to bring a pair of flip-flops, because one time I went on a trip and I didn't bring a pair of flip-flops.
No, I always bring a pair of flip-flops.
Do you know, that ruined my life. I was like, I've been walking around in my work shoes all day. I need to go downstairs and get something. And I'm like, I have to put on these flats. Like, I can't, I just want my feet to breathe, so.
Oh my God, where was I? Where I was like, I just need to buy a pair of flats, and I could not find a pair of like thong sandals. Was it Knott's Berry Farm?
No, I feel like we did that at Disneyland.
We did that at Disneyland for sure. But I feel like it was on a trip with you recently.
Six Flags? No. Mario Land? Hot air balloon?
Yes, it was Universal. I was like, there's something about amusement parks where my feet at some point.
They give out. Your feet can't be bound like that for 10
They
hours.
are enclosed in like full capture mode. They are like, nah, bitch. Like, you got us fucked up because you don't wear shoes like this all the time. Like, how dare you do this to us? Shock therapy style.
Yeah.
Get us out of here right now. And so, like, I apparently have to buy flip-flops every time I go to an amusement park.
But to be fair, those Disneyland ones were really cute.
I know. We're going to have to get new ones.
I was thinking about that today because I was wearing my Cinderella ones. What I was thinking about is that, when I was training for that half marathon, I bought those really expensive ergonomic running shoes that I'm sort of convincing myself might have contributed to my leg problems, even though there's no evidence of that. Like, maybe it's the inserts they put into them or something. I don't know. Although when I do put them on, I do feel spring in my step. So I'm not sure that tracks, but I'm like, they're so comfortable and like they're probably really good to wear. But they're so fugly that I'm just like, I'm trying to picture knowing we're walking 40 minutes to the Louvre and that these will probably be the best shoes for that type of walk. I'm just like, I
can't bring yourself to do it. No.
I can't picture an outfit where these justifies these taking up room in my luggage. So I'm going to have to figure that out because I can't wear these $200 perfect running shoes to run anymore because I can't run anymore. And I feel like this is the type of thing you'd bring, but they're just too ugly. So we got to, anyways, yes. Yeah. Lots of shoes, lots of clothes, and lots of fun.
Yeah. So. I was telling my spouse that my plan is not to, like, I'll do some shopping on the Champs-Elysees, but my plan is not to, like, buy anything designer. I plan to spend most of the money on, like, whatever we're eating for food and Disneyland. Like, just
definitely need some Disney merch, I feel like, because I feel like we love to get, first of all, anytime I go to Disneyland, I always buy a pair of ears. A new pair of ears. I'm collecting them. I don't know why, because I'm like, when you go, I'm like, this is a different vibe. Like, some people wear the same ears. That's great. At first, I wouldn't pack those to Paris anyways. That's crazy. But even if I was, like, I always have to get a new pair. And last time we went to Disneyland, we did 2 days, and I said I had to get a new pair each day because that's just who I am. So I need a pair of ears. Second is one year I went to Disneyland and I had that Minnie Mouse hoodie that when you flip it up, it has the ears on top. First of all, that hoodie is so freaking
really cute.
And I still have it and I still wear it, but I'm not packing that either and I need to find something similar because I do want another.
Why pack your Disney merch when you can just go buy new Disney merch?
I realize that I have a problem where like I always am, but I need to buy merch to memorialize that I've done something.
Yeah.
Like if I go to a concert, I'm getting merch. If I go to this conference, I'm getting merch. I'm getting merch when I go places. So yes, we will be buying Disneyland merch and we will be buying France merch. So
No.
I'm gonna get like a keychain or like there's stuff that you get for people. Yeah.
I don't get people souvenirs when I travel.
Okay.
I did get you and Mom some like jewelry, but it's like, that's it.
Yeah. Well, one of my really good friends always gets me souvenirs when she travels. When I used to work in an office, I would always get people pens. It's so great. You just pick them up at the airport. But also I really like pens because I'm a nerd. And so that was like always my thing. But like I'm not going to ship people a $2 pen and spend $10 getting it over to them.
Yeah, my thing is like I just feel in a lot of ways it's like there's just a lot of stuff, you know, like a lot of stuff. And I just feel like actually I need less stuff, and so do most people.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm a very sentimental person. So like I appreciate pretty much everything I buy myself and everything that people buy for me. I will like remember it. I keep every card that I'm sent. I have all of that stuff. So
see, like that stuff I do hold on to cards. Like I have a box that I put like cards, letters, written things. It's the stuff where it's like, oh, I got this paperweight. It's like, I'm not going to use that in any practical way.
I mean, I've never been there where I needed a paperweight, but I still have it on my desk. It's cute. It says Evil Genius on it.
I mean, and that's fine. Like I had a boss send me these dice, or I don't know, they were like
whiskey cubes.
They were like, you put them in the freezer. I'm like, I don't need this crap.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if they have logos and shit on them. Like, you know,
I will say having all that stuff and not having it at an office that I go to did make moving hard because I'm too sentimental to get rid of stuff. But I'm like, okay, I have enough stuff for 17 tchotchke stores. Like, this is too much. Like, I don't know what to do with all of this. And like, I'm also like, I don't want to put my old stuff on my new stuff. Like, so I'm like, okay, like I have so many, like I have a plaque, like a desk nameplate that says what would Beyonce do. Love that. And I have another one that says fabulous is a full-time job. Very true. And that, but I'm like, that's really cute for me, you know, but I'm like, now I have 17 or 3 plates, you know, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't have all of these up in my own office all the time. No one's seeing them but me. So like, anyways.
Souvenirs. I don't even know where one would get them except for like the airport or hotel lobby. Oh, gift shops.
Yeah.
At the places we're going.
But you're right. I feel like I don't like to get people just junk that they wouldn't use. But like, I don't know. Like one of my friends, she got me like this is actually, it's not that funny story, but I'm telling it. She got me a Eiffel Tower keychain in the Louvre triangle. Maybe it was just in the triangle. It wasn't the Louvre triangle. So I had gone on a trip and I'd left my car with one of our baby brothers, and I got back, and after like a couple of days, I was like, where's my Eiffel Tower keychain? Like, what happened to this keychain on my car keys? Like, so I texted one of our brothers and our mom, and I was like, hey, have you guys seen this keychain? And they're like, no, we don't know what happened to it. So I'm like, oh, maybe it like fell off before I gave them like my car. So okay. Weeks later, I open like my glove compartment and I see my keychain next to our baby brother's license. So I said, so when I texted you and I asked if you knew where this was and you said you'd never seen it before, not only did I find it next to like your ID at the scene of the crime. Like, what is happening right now? Like, what is wrong with you that you would say, oh,
I ain't never seen that.
Completely forgot. Oh, guess I did see it. I'm like, okay.
That reminds me of that Boondocks episode when Riley is saying that he won't believe that it's R. Kelly unless it's got his social security card, his ID, a picture of him with holding a newspaper. It's like, so here's all the evidence.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what the fuck I was talking about.
Yeah.
And why was your ID next to this?
I was so irritated. I'm like, okay, because you said that was never on your keys. Really? That's a very interesting story you're telling. And I have no idea why his ID is like, oh, I think it was expired. I'm like, so you get into someone's car, open their glove compartment, and put your expired driver's license in it? That makes sense. I'm like,
bro, you're better than me. I don't let people drive my cars.
yeah. Well, it's whatever. I feel like I
just feel like you have that in you, and I admire that about you.
It's not easy to have in me, honestly, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's just stuff. And if I could help someone if they need it, like with one of our brothers, it's like I would go on so many work trips and like, I didn't need the car, and he didn't have one at the time, and like he would drop me off at the airport, and so it's like, what do I care, But like my friend would also sometimes come to town, and she would fly in, and she would ask if she could use my car. I work from home, so I'm like, my car that sits in the garage 5 days a week, sure, and like there's a somewhat level where it's like, okay, well, but I trust the people, most of the people in my life, to do right by me and not abuse my things. And then ultimately, if it's just stuff to me and they're, then I can help someone out, then why not? Like mom also sometimes uses my car. Like
I know. And again, I admire that so much about you because like the fundamental truth that I recognize in myself is like, I know that accidents happen, but I just also know that like I don't want to hold a lifelong grudge against someone over things.
The other thing is that every time I've gone to a car accident, my life's gotten better. So I feel like could I be that bad about it? I mean, minus maybe the first accident I got in when I was 16, but nothing really bad happened from that. When I totaled the car before I had this one, and that payday fueled my divorce. Like that paid for my divorce. And not only did it pay off my loan, which I had already gotten money from that loan, whatever, I don't want to get into that, but it paid off my loan and it gave me like $5,000, like above what I had still owed on the car. Maybe it was like $2 to $5,000 of what I owed on the car. And that, enabled me, well, I was already going to do it, but it gave me more of a slush fund to be able to leave my husband. So I was like, okay, great. Like, and my insurance didn't go up. So I'm like, it's not that bad. And also I feel like insurance does cover if someone else drives your car, but even if there's some situation where they're like, we're not going to cover that, I know that one, I could afford to get a new car, and two, I know that people in my life would care enough to not be like, what? Well, you took the risk, So like, whatever, like if it helps them out a little bit, like it's fine. So it has helped that car accidents have done great for me. I mean, I don't want to get into another one, but knock on wood, like, I'm like, even if I crash my car, I'm like, I'd probably get, a nice little pretty penny off that, and then I'm upgrading to my next car, so. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that I'm going to work on that because I had a real hissy fit one time when I thought when basically I'd gotten into my car and all my settings had changed because my husband had also linked his profile to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He co-owns the car with me.
Yeah.
So I actually have equal rights as he does to that car, but it's my car.
I think it's okay to care about your stuff and take care of your stuff, but don't put stuff above reasonableness, so, and it's something that sometimes you have to work on, and there's probably everyone has their reasons for things, but you recognize that if you want to work on it, just work on it. But I would not borrow your car because I'm not dealing with you.
See?
Because accidents do it. No, because I don't want to deal with you. I don't get it, but I get that you're a monster. That's not me getting it. I get that you're a monster and I'm not dealing with it. Because accidents do happen, and it can happen when someone hit, you know what I mean? You could be as careful as possible. When I got into that accident that totaled my last car, I was swerving to avoid someone else that was going to hit me, and I'm just doing countermeasures. Even my insurance was like, it was that person's fault, but you had a dash cam, but it's crazy you couldn't see their license. They're like, it was a 1 in a million shot to not get their license on film. that happens, and I wouldn't want to be upset at someone for doing that. And then, but also, I'm not going to deal with you holding a lifelong grudge against me. So you should work on that. Go to therapy.
It is not like, I don't know what it is, honestly, but it's like, it's probably a little bit of more of like a fear thing of like, I've never had an accident on my own insurance. So it's like, I don't know what it's like to go through that process. And it's like, I would just like rather not even have to, like, because I don't know, the unknown is like scary to me. Like, I've only been in accidents when I've been a passenger or when it's been or I've had someone else's car broken into when I was driving it.
Because that time that you tapped that guy, you guys didn't exchange insurance?
I mean, I don't consider that an accident.
Did you go through insurance?
I didn't go through insurance. I don't know what they did.
Oh, you didn't fix your car?
What? There was nothing wrong with my car.
Oh. Okay.
When I hit the person and the police officer was like, why are you bothering this lady? Yeah. That was interesting. Man, I was just trying to get to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And I just like didn't stop in time. But like, I don't remember my car having any damage to it.
Yeah.
So it's like, to your point, it's like, it is just stuff.
And hey, use the stuff you pay for. You know, you pay for insurance.
I don't know enough about this process to be like, oh, this is what happens. So like, it's all fine.
I mean, like, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, I mean, I'm out of a car and I have to continue working from my house while it gets repaired.
Yeah, well, and you probably have that rental car insurance, which is actually very fun, you know? Because, I mean, you get to drive a new car, and then you really don't care about it that much. Just allegedly. Not really, but, like, it's a good time. I'm a good insured, okay? This is not. It's okay.
All of the accidents have brought blessings to my life.
Because I'm an extremely blessed person. That's why it's like, your test becomes a testimony. Like, that's how I feel about car accidents, you know? Like, crashing my car right before I was about to, that day that I crashed my last car, I was getting ready to sign a lease to leave my husband, right?
Uh-huh.
That actually would have seemed like a really bad thing. Like, now I have to figure out this car situation. Actually, this is a crazy story. I had to call my friend, and I said, I need you to pick me up, post this accident that my husband knows I got in, right? Make up a story of why we have to leave the house today, and I need you to drive me to go sign this lease. Like, yeah, I know, I just totaled my car, but my bestie's coming to pick me up. We got to go to the grocery store or something, you know, like, and like figure that, like, that's an additional stress that I wasn't anticipating that day, you know? And so like, and now I'm moving, I don't have a car, you know, or like, and so that seemed like a worse situation, but it actually worked out for the very best one. I got to see that one of my best friends showed up for me in an amazing way. It further solidified why I needed to leave, because when anyone else heard about that accident, their first thing was like, are you okay? And his first question was, well, what happened? Like, how did this accident happen? I was like, yeah, you're done, buddy. You're done. And then I did have a car because we still had the car that I've been driving since I was in high school. So took that car with me, baby. No car payment. Let's go. And I got like $4 or $5,000. So I'm like, that's great. You know, so like what seems bad was, but I, still, don't want to get into an accident. So yeah.
Okay, my hard way. Shit hurt me every day. Get on my knees, pray. I'm trying to find another way. I gotta get up out this jungle. Niggas killing just to eat. Them lies ain't playing fair, so it's been getting I don't give my heart away. This shit hurt me every day. I get on my knees and pray. I'm trying to find another way.
Let's get into the question of the week. I saw this on a TikTok. I sent it to you guys. You guys ignored it, naturally.
Oh my God, I was working all day today. Excuse me for not answering your one TikTok.
Yeah, just the one.
I didn't even get to scroll TikTok at all today.
It's horrible.
I know. I realized that at 3 p.m. today, and I was like, I cannot believe how much I've been suffering, but I've got to muscle through because Paris is around the corner. I will be okay. I'll catch up. But I was really upset.
You're really understanding now why I always told people, as much as I love TikTok, never download it, because it's like the best worst thing that's ever happened to you.
When I was in the trenches of the group chat with everyone else waiting, I was like, I can't think about anything else. I literally cannot sit at this desk and even have normal conversations with people because I just am like, what's going on over there?
Yeah. I mean,
happening?
I can't even imagine, like, getting on, the last time I was on a plane and I didn't have the Wi-Fi, I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, what? Like, who cares about your text messages? I'm talking about constant entertainment on loop, all right? So, anyways.
Wait, producer also told me how to, I had no idea how you were doing the 2 times speed.
Oh, did he show you?
He showed me.
Okay.
Unlocked an entire new world. I was
Did he
like,
show you just the like quick button, or did he also show you how you can change the watch speed to 1.5 or 2 times? So you don't have to hold it the whole time.
We'll talk after this because no, he didn't do none of that.
I always just hold. You don't know how to do that?
I just don't do that.
Oh, okay. I always hold. I usually hold it, but sometimes the person, when you do 2 times speed, talks too fast, and I'm like, wait, hold on. But I still want to hear it on 1.5 because I need to consume so much content as fast as can, like through osmosis.
Like, I want to know how this story ends, but I need you to fucking speed it up.
100%.
Okay,
like nothing like finding a part of a story and you're now when I go and I see a part of a story and it has the date like 3/23, I'm like, yes. Okay, I know they've closed this loop. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
I saw this on TikTok at KT Riley. And she asked, what is one fact about you that would tell someone everything they need to know about you within that one fact?
Did you have something in mind?
Okay. So there's a bunch of
one
things.
Thing?
Just one thing.
Okay, so we can't do an and. There's no prepositions.
It's not an and, but what she said is that she would tell them, what the poster said is that she would say that when she was like at 12 years old, she had exactly 2 songs on her iPod that she would listen to on loop, on repeat. And one of them was Walk Away by Kelly Clarkson, and the other one was a song by Raven Simone. And she would wake up every Saturday, just put in her earphones and sing them out loud. And yeah, so
that's a story that you would tell someone.
It's one thing is that she has those 2 songs on her iPad and what she would do, or her iPod and what she would do with them. So one fact, not one sentence, one word, just one fact about you.
Okay.
And I feel like there's a few things. I was thinking of first my astrological signs. I feel like we keep trying to bring this up on the pod and stop trying to make astrology happen because we can cut it out every single time. The fact is that when I was a baby, I kept turning blue and purple in my face. So my mom took me to the doctor to figure out what was going on. And the doctor told her I was just holding my own breath. And that should tell you everything you need to know about me. Yeah.
It's not funny.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
I was like over it immediately. Like, get me out of here.
Unalive.
I just
right fucking
can't be here
now.
It freaking sucks here.
Everything that someone needs to know about you?
It's pretty close, you know? It sums it up pretty nicely.
I wish I had more time to think about this.
I put it in the reminders like earlier today and sent you in TikTok, so that's what it came up.
When I first saw you had put it in the reminders, my first thought was that I am a Libra and I am the oldest daughter. I am the oldest period.
Yes.
I am the oldest granddaughter, and I am the oldest child, which I thought was like, okay, maybe that tells people things about me.
Yeah.
I don't know that I don't think I'm unique or complex in any way.
You definitely are. You just haven't had a chance to think about something to share in this moment.
Not thinking about the fact that I could actually tell a story that would give more insight. I feel like I could probably tell a story that would perfectly capture yep, that's everything you need to know. I need to think about it. I haven't had enough time to think about one because I just now learned that a story could be told. So, unfortunately, it's like I'm a Libra and I'm the oldest. It's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But I also immediately went to astrology. It's like, yeah, I'm a Slytherin. I'm a Libra, and I voted for Black people and women.
Yeah.
That's pretty much those are three, some facts. But I'll have to think about a story and circle back on that.
This is a good circle back.
Maybe what I'll do is, as part of our vlog, as I think about this on our journey and on our trip, I will add it to my TikTok.
Maybe you can think about it and send a producer the voice note and have him clip it in afterwards.
Just interrupting the pod over here.
Yeah, like a voiceover.
Yeah, I got you.
I gotta pause right now. I've thought about doing that when we've said something, and I'm like last week when we were potting, and I was like, I actually don't feel so bad. I want to be like, record scratch. She's actually never felt worse in her entire life. Like 5 seconds after this. Like that'd be great.
I think that should be a thing.
Yeah, but it's like kind of a lot of work, and sometimes I'm like running against the clock to get these episodes. I was like, I don't have time for this crap. Sometimes I have such great ideas, so that I'm like, oh, like I want to leave in this like B-roll, like that's really funny, or like, and then I'm like, I don't have time for this crap. Like I got to get this episode edited out.
Yeah.
So maybe eventually, if we could come up when I learn to edit faster or something. But as it stands now, there's no record scratch voiceover moments that are happening in the pod. Okay.
She's actually never felt worse.
She doesn't know it, but exactly 2 hours from now, she's going to lose her mind and won't kill herself from how sick she feels.
I'll definitely take that under advisement. I like this question, and I like the expansion to a story. So I'm going to think about that and circle back.
I love it. We also didn't talk about any ins and outs this week, but do you want to do ins and outs? Have you thought of anything?
I think we should do ins and outs, and I think we should also do power move of the week.
Okay.
I have a power move, so I'll get into that later. Circling on to the ins and outs. What's in for me this week? I feel like I have a really, really solid out. A murkier in.
Okay.
So give me a second, and why don't you tell us what your ins and outs are?
Okay, so my in for this week that I'm just riffing because I have not thought about this at all.
Okay.
Is ghosting people. And I'm not going to expand further. Protect your peace. You don't owe anyone an explanation.
I can't wait to hear more.
Okay, out for me this week is kitschy names for restaurant dishes. I don't like that. Like, I think there's a time and a place, but when it's, I don't even want to say it because it was just so annoying, but like when it's too unnecessary, I will have to Google this to see if this brings anything up, but sprouts and swine, bitch, if you don't tell me that this is Brussels sprouts with pork, I'm gonna kill you. Like, so.
But pigs and figs would have been so cute.
Pigs and figs would have been so cute, but they didn't call it pigs and figs. I said pigs and figs. Actually, I said pigs and blue cheese, but.
I said pigs and figs.
You said pigs and figs.
But
that's
is it
what I'm saying.
because it's
That's
a rhyme?
That's a plate. There's a time and a place. I feel like because that would be a main dish. I feel like sprouts and swine, it's not even that creative.
Also, swine is not what you like. Not a positive connotation on that word.
Because that was giving trying too hard and then also failing. You know, like that's not okay. Now, if you do something super cute, but also I just don't like what's like. It's the same thing when we talked about like Italian food. Like stop calling it secondi and antipasti. Like just give me my fettuccine alfredo right now. So that's out for me this week. Just call the food what it is. And don't make me, read every single ingredient. Oh, and also label the ingredients correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Label. So, what's in for you this week?
I'm gonna say that the weather is in for me. I feel like it is warming up and I'm able to enjoy being outside without feeling like I might be in some semblance of failure because I forgot a jacket, at some drop of the hat that the weather decides to change. What's out for me this week is the Trump administration and J.D. Vance, specifically what happened with the National Park Service removing Harriet Tubman from their website. They did that to Jackie Robinson. And it's like they want to erase Black people from their contributions to our nation's history. Yeah. And it's like, these people are such fucking losers that I just like can't. I'm just getting so enraged, honestly, at like the level of dystopian cope that they have to convince themselves of because they can't stand the fact that like we are achieving and excelling despite them.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're fucking out. They're gonna be out for me for like all of eternity. And everyone who freaking likes them, you guys are idiots in a cult, and you know, good luck and good riddance, honestly.
Yeah. I was surprised to briefly learn, meaning I didn't look into it that much, but that all 9 Supreme Court justices
Unanimously told them you need to go get that. You need to go get that man back.
Clarence Thomas on the right side of history, and never in my stars.
Alito is the fucking worst as well. Him and Clarence Thomas together are like,
do you know how diabolically insane you have to be for those two to be like
in agreement?
Yeah, that's a little too far.
Yeah. No, that was pretty remarkable.
And that has been somewhat of a testament to our skewed checks and balances that I'm like, okay, but then I'm also like, is this I think everything's a scam, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is just throwing the dog a bone, but behind my back, you're eating the full turkey. So I'm like, I'm not, but yeah. So agreed.
But it's like, can't imagine being like Sonia Sotomayor and like having to have my name on like the same side of an issue as Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. Like, ugh. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies. But like, you know, they're also in like another echelon because like you're a different person as a judge.
The check didn't clear or something. It's like, so they're like, oh, well, you don't need my money. So allegedly.
I don't fear no man, but I'ma still put 60 in this Drake. Set it off like Queen Latifah, nigga playing with my cake. Split the bag up with my brother, 50-50 what we made. I can't let no nigga eat that ain't contribute to this plate. Run it up, I just need 30.
Power move of the week.
Yeah, so we talked about this. Is it what I'm going to
talk about? Yeah. Okay.
So we talked about this, but as you all know, you had a meltdown. We got into a little tizzy before we made the ratatouille.
Before you made the ratatouille.
Before we were supposed to make the ratatouille together.
And I stormed out because
Kiki storms out of the house.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and then the worst part was I've left my keys on the table, so I had to come back after storming out, guys.
I thought after you storming out, I thought, okay, like she realized that was silly. But Kiki looks me dead in the fucking eye and says, I forgot my keys. I'm getting out of, like double down basically. I'm like,
sure.
Oh, okay, cool. So this was on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So this was on a Saturday when you weren't feeling well. Sunday, you're still not feeling well. I don't know this because we haven't spoken and I'm not really sure how either of us proceeds. Now, kind of bringing in the things people need to know about us. Our family doesn't apologize. We were not taught to do that.
No.
We were taught to hold grudges until we die.
Yeah, and then also like to tell yourself a story about how you're a victim. And then eventually as time passes and you need something from someone or you're eventually going to have to see them. Like when we go to Paris, you just begrudgingly show up.
Turn it over. You never talk about it and you just kind of move past it. But do you really ever move past it?
No.
Yeah, so we weren't taught the healthiest conflict resolutions.
We weren't, but we are breaking generational traumas.
We are, because on Monday, so first of all, this is what happens to me. On Monday, I wake up before my alarm. I look at my phone. Now, it had died the night before, so my phone was doing the thing where it shows me the actual number instead of the name of a person. I recognize this number as your number.
Yeah.
And I go open my phone. I'm like, oh, she's breaking the barrier. She's breaking bread. She's making peace. And I open my phone. There was nothing from you. And I'm thinking to myself, did she delete it? Is this a phantom? Did it ever happen?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll go about my busy fucking work week. Kiki eventually does call me and, makes... And I had to thank you because first we don't do that. And
I
so,
paid tribute in my calling.
Bent the knee.
Yes.
I was like, okay, and I told you, I was like, I really appreciate you because I know this is really hard for us. He said,
I was like, it was tough.
It was really hard
tough to be the one to call. But, I had to do it.
I did know. It's like, she's gonna have to talk to me because we're going to fucking Paris.
I
so like,
could've
we're
waited,
gonna.
though.
I know. That's why I was really glad you did it. But I was like, did you text me, by the way, and like delete it? And Kiki goes, no, but that's totally something I would do.
But it's something I didn't do. So it's crazy of you to assume that I did that, but also not crazy because that is something I totally could have done.
First of all, it's an ingenious move. Because as soon as I realized you didn't do that, I was like, oh, that's a power move because I was thinking about it all day. So
yeah.
Power move of the week. If you ever find yourself in any type of conflict and you really want to play a little bit of a mind game, what you need to do is you need to be someone who wakes up at 3:30 in the morning before your enemy.
Yes.
Send a text message and then make it disappear. Undo send. You know, maybe you accidentally heart something, make it, then unheart it.
Yeah.
You know, just to give them the notification and have it live as a phantom in their mind. Yeah. So.
Similarly to this, which is also a good power move that I've done on our father, is 1 year, about 10 years ago, my dad called me on his birthday and he said, hey, it's my birthday. Before I had the chance to call him.
Oh yeah. I
have never let it
Never let
go.
that happen again.
So now, not only have I not let it go, I wake up at crazy early, like you said. Mm-hmm. So not only do I call him on his birthday before he has a chance to call me, I make sure I call him on my birthday.
Yep.
Every single year. Okay? I don't care. This was even before I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. When I was a normal person, I would set my alarm to make sure I called him to say, hey, happy birthday to me. I don't think he's ever called me on my birthday before I called him since he's done that. And every time
I didn't know this.
He says, I really...
Yeah, he really did it. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I suppose if there was a story, like it would have to be some amalgamation of how we have a family of people who does not let things go.
No.
And we are not easy to forgive in our family. And so like, you know, you do this whole thing with dad where you're calling him on your birthday, but when dad pulled that with me of like calling me on his birthday to tell me it was his birthday, I have taken that instead as a bastion of like, at 12:01 their local time, I'm sending a text message to be the first person to wish anyone a happy birthday or a happy anniversary.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna catch me slipping again.
Yes.
Okay. So
And I think the worst part is that he didn't even catch me slipping. It was like very early in the morning when he called.
Yeah,
like
he's
it was like
ridiculous.
7 o'clock my time. I'm like, bro, you didn't even give me a chance to crack my wipe the sleepies out of my eye. Like, come on. Like, and so I'm like, okay, I see you.
yeah.
And I raised you.
Yeah.
2 decades of being called first. My birthday.
Actually love that's a great power move.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried that, but since we have the same birth month, I'm gonna do that.
You should.
Yeah.
But don't watch this, Dad. Surprise.
All right, he's ready to be fed, let out. Well, it was really great yet again hanging out with you. I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. I'm super excited for what the next couple of weeks has in store. So yeah, thanks for joining me and hanging out with me and telling me about your week.
Always. It was really fun, and I just cannot wait for Paris. I am just gritting my teeth to get through the next few days. So
We're right there.
Anyways, thanks for joining us. Stay pretty.
Stay prideful, especially if you're Black.
Always.
You can't finesse. Bitch, I move smart like a motherfucking Tesla. I'm clutching this Glock, do I look like a wrestler? Get put on your back, tryna act like a flexer. Hold on, wait, this Glock take 'em out like a date. She give me the pussy, I just want the face. Fuck her real good, put the bitch in her place. I'm high in the bitch, but my mind up in space.